Yo, what's poppin', everybody? How y'all doing out there today? Welcome back to the podcast, another episode of Caffeine and Green with your man, Connell Cardenas. And before we get into it, I just want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of Caffeine and Green, which are Seven Seas Roasting Company and Thorn Street Brewery. Just a little bit about Seven Seas Roasting. They are my home roaster here in San Diego, California. You'll find me there most days. And we're just cooking, roasting up some great coffee for y'all. And what's great about having a Seven Seas as my sponsor is that they are able to provide a great code for y'all, which is if you go to the website right now, sevenseasroasting.com, and you put in my code C&G at checkout, you're going to get 3 bags of coffee for $30. I mean, that's a no-brainer because 2 bags of coffee are $16 each. That's 32. So you're basically getting a bag for free. So head on over to sevenseasroasting.com, and you're going to be able to get our new coffee, which is the non-Kali, which has a little bit of dried mango, little butter cookie, and some almond. Or you can get our 5th Gear Espresso, or even our El Jaguar, which is still a crowd favorite, if you will. So head on over to sevenseasroasting.com, get 3 bags of coffee for $30 by inputting my code CANDG at checkout, and get that deal. My guest today goes by the name of Wolf. He is a young man from North Carolina and has made his way out west. He's out here in San Diego just making his way, getting after it, training, personal training, as well as doing some cinematography. Just finding his way. And he's worked with Seven Seas. That's how I met him. I thought, why not have him on, give him a chance to get his story out there, see what he's doing, and see how he's out there just motivating and hustling every day and getting after it. So without further ado, my man Wolf, this your time to shine, homie. Let's go. Caffeine and Green. It's your boy Connor. What's good? Good. Caffeine and Green. And we are live.
Sweet.
My man Wolf.
What's up?
Dude, cheers, sir.
Cheers, bro.
Fuck yeah. I have to say, you're the second guest that has requested the Thorn Street, the Hopster?
I don't know which one I got. It was blue. It was blue on the site.
The New England Hazy IPA one. It's the Hopster Hop or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's something like that.
It's super
good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Super good.
So I was when you hit me up with like, oh yeah, I want that beer. I was like, oh okay.
Heck yeah.
This is like got to be a good. I mean, I remember drinking in the other one. It was super good, but I was like, oh okay. There's something to this.
Yeah.
Dude, people are loving this. So.
Dude, it's so good.
Cheers. But yes, welcome to Caffeine and Green, sir. I thought it was super interesting. We've only met a couple times.
Correct.
Both at Seven Seas. And the second time I met you was after you had done a piece for us, and Dietrich Roasters loved it. And they reposted it on their Instagram page. And it might sound lame to say, but that meant a lot for us, especially because we had just opened. I mean, dude, you were there probably within the first month that we were open. That was a crazy time, right? And so for you to capture it and just to kind of, you can even see in it, I was rewatching the commercial that you made, and you can, like, the buckets that we had were still like the Home Depot buckets, like so ghetto, bro, but I appreciate it. And then, so I hadn't seen you since then, and then you came back in the shop and you were filming again.
Yeah.
And what were you filming for this time?
I rented out a camera for a wedding, and I really wanted to test out the video capability. And what I do with that is I like to visit coffee shops, and one of my favorites is Seven Seas. So I was like, I'm going to pay the homies a visit and, just shoot a video. So that's what I did.
You're just doing another creative thing that you wanted to put together?
Yeah. So for me, when it comes to creativity, I find my creative flow more fluent when it comes to coffee. I know it sounds weird, but that's literally how it is. Like every time I'm in a coffee shop, literally that's where my best ideas like come alive.
Yeah.
So
are you drinking coffee, or are you like a tea drinker that hang out?
I drink coffee because I'm also a barista at Starbucks.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you work at like the corporate one, but then you come and chill at the specialty ones.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, I always support, man.
Dude, that's tight.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you still a barista there?
Yep.
So you do that and you train?
Yeah, and I'm a videographer too.
And you're a videographer.
Yeah.
Yes, this is okay. So this again, leading back to what I was just saying, this is why I wanted to have you on the show. When we were talking the second time that we were kicking it, which is recently,
Yeah.
we started to talk about the training and you're doing the videography, and now I hear that you're working at Starbucks, so you hustling.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. There's
Thank
just
you.
grinding.
Yeah.
I had a guest on yesterday that same thing. He's always grinding, whether he's working construction, he's doing his skateboard company, he's playing the stock market, he does whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This full fucking is hustlers. And so why are you hustling so hard?
So recently it's been kept down like literally low key for like the past few months. But I recently came out with it that, well, currently I live in a garage in PB, like literally sketch alleyway in the back of somebody's, like my homie's garage. See, when I first became a trainer, I didn't want to go to corporate. Because I didn't want, clients being thrown at me. I'd rather work with clients because they want to work with me with not just like, what I can do for them, but, as a person. So what I did was I started my own business and became an independent contractor, did that. And
for training?
For training.
Okay.
Yeah, for personal training. And then that's when I joined a independent gym called Self-Made Training Facility. Did that for about a year, learned a lot about business when it comes to starting it, how to run it, how to keep it running. And then when I decided to part ways because I felt like I needed to part because I felt like I wanted to grow more. That's when all shit broke loose. Literally, I'm sorry. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's when all shit broke loose, and not many people know this, but I lost a lot of my big clients. That were paying my my paycheck, or like my bills, my place to live, and one thing led to another, and I ended up in PB, like literally in the back of my homie's garage, crashing in the corner, with just a sleeping bag.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
damn.
So one of the reasons,
down.
one of the reasons, literally, when I left, I decided to put everything down. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. That means including, making any sacrifice I could. So what happened was, after I left and lost all my clients, I started, and I lost like literally, because I was living not too far from North Park. I was living in Normal Heights. Actually, I think that's still considered North Park, right?
Normal. I mean, it's like a neighborhood, if you will.
But yeah, so that's basically what happened. I lost that pad right there.
But so let me backtrack a second. So you had your own business and you had all these clients, but then
yeah. So that's the thing.
You parted ways. Like, do you have a business partner or something like that?
No. So I parted ways with the facility. So I was paying rent at the facility, and then that's when my clients were like, "I like this facility. I'm just gonna stay here, and I'm just gonna pick another trainer." And that's literally the ugly part of like having your own business is that you don't know who your true customers are. Which if you know about anything about a business, your 1,000 true customers are the customers that will keep coming to you no matter where you go, no matter what you sell, no matter what you do with your business. They'll always support you, right? So not everyone knew about the ugly side. So when I left Self-Made, that's when like I said, I lost all my clients, and I'm literally like repeating myself again, but what it led on to was me, having to literally just go all in. Mm-hmm. And that's when I made the decision. I was like, hey, fuck this. I'll sleep in my car for a bit. I'll hotel hop for a bit. And, that's what I did for like the first month. And that's how one of my other trainer homies found out, and he offered me the back of his garage. Literally, it's a roof over my head, and I'm totally fine with that. And I have literally, I wake up every day with a smile, man, just because, like, you know what? I have my health. I have, like, like my tenacity, my freaking motivation. That's all I need right now. Like, I can be very minimalist right now in this part of my life to do the hustle and bustle to make a name for myself. Okay. You know what I mean? So, like, my whole goal right now is to not just be seen, but be heard.
In what way? So what are you trying to do in sense of
so right now I switched up my focus now. Like, I know it seems confusing that why I'm doing all these these different jobs. So, you know, just to list them out, you know, I'm a barista at Starbucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am a personal trainer at a gym. I'm also a group fitness instructor. And I'm also a videographer, professional videographer.
So you do weddings,
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay.
So I did all that, but for the videography and the personal training, they're all independent contracting. So literally, I make my own money on my own dime, and I took the barista position because that's my 9 to 5. You know, that's my 9 to 5 to where I'm guaranteed this cash, and that I can use to support my other businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And what I learned was that I'm working these 80 hours. I'm putting these 80 hours a week to avoid working 40 hours. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that literally was the main goal right there. The main premise of like why I took all these careers and all these jobs, and why like I'm not really spreading myself thin, but more of like, you know, I'm putting myself in a lot of places.
Did you grow up here in San Diego?
No. So I grew up a little bit everywhere. I'm a military brat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So are your parents still currently in San Diego, or are you out here by yourself?
I am out here by myself.
All right.
Yeah. So my parents are actually in North Carolina.
Whoa.
Right.
Heavy.
Literally on the other end of the country, man. Like they can touch the water.
Is that where you came here from?
Yeah.
So damn, from North
Yeah.
Carolina.
So 5 years ago, I moved here from North Carolina, a little town called Havelock. Yeah. If you look it up on Google, literally like the smallest town, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So like everyone knew each other, stuff like that. And I told myself when I was over there, I was like, I gotta get out of here. You know, I was like, I'm a housekeeper. I'm a housekeeper at a hotel, and I'm working at McDonald's full time. Like this, I'm worth more than something than this. You know, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
How old were you when you had this realization?
I was 20.
20.
Yeah.
Damn, you working full time at 20 at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I was trying to go for like a manager position, but they were like, "No, you're not getting that."
All right.
Yeah, so like I was like, "Fuck it then." I get a call like one day from my aunt, and she was like, "You know, you can go to school here for free." I'm like,
For free?
"Yeah, or not? Well, assisted. You know what I mean?"
I was
like,
be like, damn, son. How to like that? That's nice.
No, I mean assisted. You know what I mean? Like, my dad was in the military, so I had this thing called
okay.
CalVet, and that's what I used. But it was tough to keep that benefit right there. You know. So yeah, and then when I was like, I need to start my career now, I was just like, I'm just gonna be a personal trainer, just start my business, and that's how literally my business, Wolf Time Athletics, came to be. You know, because I wanted like that experience, that experience, just like right then, right there.
So did you? How did you go get certifications? Did you look it up on YouTube? What did you do to start your own business?
So to start my business, I got certified. And with, my background, so what I studied in school was physical therapy, kinesiology, emphasis in physical therapy, if you want to get specific there. And that helped out with getting certified. And I got certified within like a month and a half, which
of like just like certain levels of athletics or whatever.
No. Yeah. So certified as a personal trainer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, it usually takes like 3 to 4 months to get certified as a trainer. It just depends on the individual, but, for me, like kinesiology was my background. So I felt very comfortable in the space of the fitness industry, and I already had my foot in the fitness industry as well. So I was just like, it's a no brainer, I might as well just get certified, and just do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I did.
Interesting.
Yeah, man.
And then, so did you do that out here, or did you do that over in North Carolina?
I did it over here.
Over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so was that straight to San Diego? Or
What's that?
Where was it? Where was it at that you were, where your aunt lived?
She lived here.
Oh,
yeah,
here
she
in San
lived
Diego?
here. Yeah, she lived here in San Diego, and she just literally, it was just a random call, right?
Sick.
Literally a random call, was like, "Hey, what's up?" And then she was like, "What are you doing?" Like it was probably like fate, if you want to say that.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So that's what happened, man. I was just like, okay. And then after the first year was tough because, moving from a small town, you get this huge culture shock. Unless, and then like, being like, my younger self was a very like big introvert, not much of an extrovert. And out here in California, you need to be, I mean, I'm not saying you need to be, but you need to like be willing to expand your network. Otherwise, you know, you're not going to be able to like do what you want to do. You know, it's all about who you know out here. And I'm a big believer in that, you know? So, and that's what I did was I not changed my personality, but you know, I shifted towards a better one. And that's how I got to do what I'm doing today. As far as like, you know, videography wise too, because what helped me out in my personal training business was my videos. You know, my videos is what
You would film yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, yeah. I made little stories for myself, and it wasn't just like your general like videos where like I put it on a tripod, and then just like, you know, film myself working out. It was more of I had a storyline going on to where, you know, I was walking in the gym, you know, just putting some pre-workout in the drink, and it was something back then that nobody was doing.
Is this like essentially when you're doing like a tile post or you're doing something like a story, if you will? Or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just, like,
yeah. So I did for both. I did. So I bought my first professional camera in 2017, and that's when I first got certified. And I was like, I have this tool that no one has, like really, because other fitness entrepreneurs would have to ask other people like outside help to get help for their videos. Which, you know, videos back then were becoming a big thing on Instagram. And I was like, I have this forte. Like, why not? I'm just going to use it, you know, just use it to my advantage. And that's what I did. And that's when this media company hit me up. So a media company, Climate Media, one of their representatives here in San Diego, I actually did work for. And I didn't realize he was like the representative for this huge company, which, by the way, like, they're based out of Venice Beach. You know, they have an office in San Francisco. They do work for like small companies like National Geographic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Small
dude.
company.
Nah, dude. Yeah, they do work for Nat Geo. They've done work for like professional basketball players, professional athletes for that matter. And I was like, really? You know, they're asking me for help on a couple of shoots, and I was like, okay. You know, this is when I was like, you know, very new to the film industry. So I did not know what to expect, and literally been under their wing, just doing some freelance work for them for the past 2 years. And it's been a ride, dude. It's been a ride for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah, man.
So when they hit you up for like a freelance job, it's just random? They're like, hey, we're going to have this, and boom.
Yeah. So the guy that brought me on board, I've kept in contact with him, and we've done some solo work with each other. As far as like, you know, like he's helped me out with my YouTube channel. And I've helped him out with a couple charity events. And you know, from there we've sort of like learned our like each other's styles, like when it comes to the editing and shooting. So yeah, but then I was like, dude, should I be on contract like with you guys since I'm doing so much work for you guys? So he's a really good homie of mine now, and he was just like, dude, I want you to stay like freelance for now until you know, because I want you to blow up. I'm like, what do you mean blow up? I mean, like I can see you're doing really well. So like that's the thing like I really want to like, you know, talk about is just you never know who's in your corner like until you reach that low, you know what I mean? So
low?
Yeah, so like, you know, like I said before, like I'm living in a garage right now, you know, like in a sleeping bag, stuff like that on the floor. It's to many, it's like, it's not a cool time. Right. But for some,
whatever. But you're still relatively young too. So
yeah,
dude, it's totally fine.
No. Yeah. See, and that's how I saw it, but not people like my age see it like that though. Right. I see it as an opportunity. I see it as an opportunity to like take a bigger step forward because I'm taking a small step back.
Yeah, but bro, that's the thing is that everybody's got to pay their dues. I mean, you're 26.
Yeah.
So you're in the prime right now, bro.
Right?
You're in the 25 and, you know, about to get to 30 years old, and you're on that hustle. I mean, bro, the first time I met my wife, she was my girlfriend then. Bro, I lived in a NPB in a fucking studio apartment on a mattress on the floor, and it was just me and my dog. Yeah. And that was it. I barely had any pots and pans, but it's like, this is what you can afford, and this is what it's worth. And,
yeah.
You know, I'm not going to spend, you know, $1,000 on a fucking mattress with a box spring and all this. Like, nah, bro, I'm going to live it. You know, not even a comforter, bro. You got to do the fucking. Yeah. I had a fucking sleeping bag that was spread open, you know, and I just that was my comforter. So I mean, yeah. But at the same time, bro, I mean, again, when I was 23, I was living on my homie's couch. He's like, I own that couch.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, you're on that couch. What you're doing right now, this is your time to do that.
That's what
you know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
even like, you shouldn't even be looking at it as like, I mean, I know you're not looking at it as a negative, but like, fuck what everybody else thinks anyways, because you're doing you.
Yeah.
My question to you though, with all these endeavors that you're doing, my friend,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the videography, if you're just in the back of the homie's garage, how are you editing? Like, how do you do it all through your MacBook, or do you have a desktop that you make it easier?
So I have a laptop that constantly crashes right now. Yeah, that's the whole pain of it. So it still works. It's not like it's crashing like, you know, where I can't use it like for good. It just crashes because, you know, just technically speaking, there's not enough RAM in it. Because it wasn't like built for the amount of work or the type of work that I'm doing right now. Because I originally got it for school. So yeah, the work that I'm doing right now, it just can't handle it. But yeah, I do all my editing through a laptop. That's the thing I like about the job too, is like, you know, video editing can be very mobile. Like, you know, that's why I like,
true.
that's
Yeah.
why I like, you know, going to these coffee shops and like, you know, doing some of these work, because then, you know, I can just like post up there and just, you know, like camp out there for like eight hours of the day, just doing some editing and, you know, like constantly creating, these new ideas for these new videos. But yeah, man, like literally like I think I started off on like Windows Movie Maker off my dad's like desktop, and then
That's
like
tight.
and then moved on to Adobe, like Sony Vegas, and then now Adobe Premiere Pro.
Adobe Premiere, yeah.
Yeah, and
Dude,
then now
do you have the cloud like subscription that you can use all
No.
the shit?
not the entire cloud, so I pay for Premiere Pro, Lightroom, and Photoshop. That's about it, because that's all I use. Like literally, that's all I use, and that's all I need. I don't need any other like other programs.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, only use what you got to use. I mean,
exactly.
dude, I have so many homies though that are like professional like cinematographers like yourself, and dude, he's like, my one homie, he's like, I pay for shit, bro. He's like, I pirate everything. I was like, you ain't worried about it? He's like, if there's something I run into that I really can't do because I don't have the full version,
Mhm.
he's like, I'll figure something out. But
Yeah.
he's like, no. He's like, for what I do and for all the editing he does, what he has the pirated versions of, he's like, bro, it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I'm like, dude, you're so gnarly. Like,
Yeah.
I was never able to take that risk and like downloaded all those pirated ones. It's
I
so
mean,
fun.
that's what I do with the music too. I mean, I hope they don't hear this, but you know, I download links from YouTube and just use their songs, because even though they say that you can't,
Yeah.
I still do so. I found
whatever.
I found like third party websites where I can just download use the link to download the song and then just use it for my video.
Dude, yeah.
So yeah, you got to
There's
literally
so
do what
many-
you can.
Yeah, I mean, and plus too, there's other ones too that you can do. Those like the music, the beat websites that you can, $10, $5. Some of them are free. Some people are just like, hey, take my beat.
Yeah.
But then we were talking about this before the podcast. We were talking about YouTube. And
Yeah.
how YouTube has been a real big underlining theme for a lot of the guests
Dude.
on the show alone. I mean, and we were talking about before the podcast, and you were
Mhm.
saying how you learned a lot of stuff off YouTube.
I did. I literally
For filming?
for filming, for training, for anything, dude. If I wanted to learn a new language, man, I just popped in a YouTube video. I was just like how to speak French, man, because I saw this cute girl across the street. I was like, oh, shit, hold it. She only speaks French. Let me go on YouTube real quick and
Bonjour,
just like,
mademoiselle.
yeah.
Comment allez-vous?
Yeah, man. So literally, even from like the training, so that's how I got into upping my game in the video game or video industry. And then you know how like you go onto YouTube and you just enter a rabbit hole.
I mean, yeah.
Have you ever heard of that term before?
Yeah, but my rabbit holes, dude, stupid. We can't even talk about what I look at. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. We'll just go to like, yo, what's your, dude, yeah.
Dude, no, I mean like, yeah. So when I get into that, that specific rabbit hole right there, I go off on a little tangent, you know, and it's not like it's where it's like random videos where I see like a two-headed turtle racing a rabbit. It's more of like,
What?
yeah.
You're just gonna throw that out there like, oh, that's just a
I mean,
normal
like,
one.
no, I mean, like, yeah, it's like, so I'm saying, like, when you enter the rabbit hole, you usually find some, like, random shit, and, like, I never thought I'd search for this video, but, like, look at me, like, I'm here watching it, but, I end up, like, watching and finding these, like, videos that help me out, like, you know, increase my ability to do more efficient work when it came to video editing, to creatively design, these transitions, stuff like that, and doing that, like spending like, because when you enter this rabbit hole, you don't stop, right? You don't stop, and then the next thing you know, like literally hours pass, and you've have mastered all these skill sets, like from these transitions to audio design to how to creatively tell a story, stuff like that. And
But are you stopping? So are you watching these videos? You're stopping simultaneously using the other programs and teaching yourself while like, oh, this is like boom.
oh
right here,
yeah,
and then you're
oh
going.
yeah, no doubt,
and-
yeah.
Okay.
So whenever I come up to a point where like, hey, I want to learn how to do this, I would pull up like, you know, two separate windows and like, you know, do it while I'm watching the video, because you know that's how I learn personally, like you know, just doing it while I'm watching it. But if it's like a little concept video, like, hey, like this is how you creatively tell a story, like effectively tell one, then I would just watch the video all the way through and then just like keep going with how other creators do it, because you know there's not one creator that's right. You know, there's no set formula to anything. You know, so I just went on like literally a ride to see like what other people think and like see how I can like mend my own way of telling a story, or you know, doing this transition, whatever it may be. I one of my biggest goals was to find a way like how I would do it, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's doing the work, and you know, just because it works for this person doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. So you got to find that little balance in between, you know.
My homie Chauncey said probably one of the best things I've ever heard about YouTube. I mean, I had mentioned to him before the podcast. It's like, my homie Chauncey's an audio guy. He's been in for 10 years. He's a rapper. He made the beat for this podcast. He makes the beats for all his rap group, and they're fire, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's all self-taught through YouTube. And he told me once, he was like, hey, you can go to school. Go get your college education. All good. I have my college degree. You have a college degree.
No.
Oh, you don't? No. Sorry. My bad. And I think he does as well. But he was like, bro, what you can do, like you go to class. He's like, how many times a week do you go to class? Monday and Wednesday for 3 hours. Boom. So he's like 6 hours a week. You're practicing this, whatever you're trying to learn. He's like, why don't you just go on YouTube, use the same amount of time, dedicate 3 hours on Mondays and Wednesdays and do it.
Yeah.
And then study a little bit every day.
Yeah.
Boom. And I mean, we're talking, that's how I did the podcast. That's how you're doing your stuff.
Yeah.
Bro, I love it when I hear that shit.
Well, because for me too, like when I heard about when I actually started doing it, you know, I that's when I started like doing like entrepreneurship, you know.
Entrepreneurship?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, starting my businesses with like, you know, my personal training and then the video thing. And I use entrepreneurship, that term, very lightly, by the way. But yeah, I went.
Need more beer?
I'm good, man. But then yeah, when I first started like really getting into it, I was like, hey, I'm spending more time on YouTube than I am in like studying for school. I mean, I'm not gonna say I dropped out, but I just stopped going.
I mean, if you're getting free education, it's.
So it was assisted education. So basically, they just covered.
No, I mean YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean
no,
YouTube.
yeah.
YouTube is free education, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So that's what I mean, and the two, like I could learn at my own pace too. That's the beauty of it, you know. I'm not being really tested on like, you know, constantly like every 2 weeks. But
you're using it in real time though.
Yeah.
That's the one thing is that I feel like we're not like addressing that, is that you're learning these things, but you're also applying in real time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you're able to, you know, you can read a book all you want, or you can watch a video all you want, but until you actually do the action or put it into use, you're not going to really grasp that.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. You want to apply it immediately, you know, compared to like being in the classroom and you're learning a certain subject. You have this like, I mean, just depending what your majors or depending what you want to do with your career, you have like this, oh, I'm going to do this later. You know, I'm going to do this later in my career, so I'm just going to learn it now. Whereas if you are on YouTube, you know, like you're learning this new skill set, and there's a reason you're on YouTube. There's a reason you type this in the search bar and you're learning this right now. It's because you want to apply it immediately. And that to me shows more initiative than anything, you know, when it comes to building a career for yourself, as well as, just improving your skill set. You know what I mean?
Do you feel, I mean, with that being said, for just an example, is I did the same thing. My homies called me, he said, yo, the audio on the volume needs to go up on your podcast. Shout out Nick Shields. Thanks, homie. And so I turned up the volume, but One morning he got up, 3 hours later, watching YouTube videos, bro. Just some dude from Australia taught me how to do it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out. Like, yo, that dude, I don't even remember your name, but thank you.
Yeah.
You know what
Dude,
I mean?
YouTube is a problem solver.
Dude.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's a problem solver for everything, but I'm just saying for the majority of what life or like this world has like for you, YouTube, just YouTube
bro.
it. Just YouTube it, man.
What are your thoughts about, I've been talking about this with a couple guests because, again, yesterday I had a guest on who said he uses YouTube a lot. Multiple guests use YouTube for everything.
Mm-hmm.
What are your, I'm really surprised they're not charging yet. And my homie was like, well, they have YouTube Red. But, it's a paid service, but the fact that there's all this education for free, and it's ironic because free education in like the real world, our schools are closing, they're deteriorating, they suck, but the free education online, they're not charging.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they need to. I'm just like, yo, super surprised as a person who yourself, a lot of homies, so many people can learn so many things and do so many new things with today's day and age, and everything else costs money in our country. Like,
yeah.
Is this it because do you think it's maybe because it's a worldwide used program or like a platform, or do you think it might be just like they're just going to keep it free?
Dude, I have no idea. Because, like, you have no idea what's going to happen with the internet, literally, from now and on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, literally, I think they're just going to keep it free, to be honest.
Dude, I hope so.
Yeah, see, same here.
I really hope so. It's so useful. It's so useful.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I fucking love it. So, one thing, too, that I want to bring up. So, you actually know a Caffeine and Green alum. Miss Bliss Olivia.
Yeah, I do.
Bliss Lovell, I should say. Shout out Bliss if you're listening to this. How do you know Bliss?
So, one of the first things I wanted to do when it came to personal training and like that whole starting like your own business thing was, of course, to build a social media, So I started with Instagram because, everyone was on it. And one of the companies I followed was called Live Fit.
Oh, the Live Fit apparel. Yeah.
Live Fit apparel. Yeah. So I took a bunch of like, marketing classes and like, like how to like build your following, stuff like that. So one of the things they mentioned was follow a hashtag. And, one thing, I met a lot of people through that hashtag Live Fit apparel. And it's not even funny, man. Like
legit met people
in person. Yep. Because of that,
to them, they're
because
like, hey,
of that hashtag, dude.
Your Isaguchi thing.
Yeah, dude. Because of that hashtag, literally, like I would like go on the hashtag, like of like their photo, start a conversation with them because that's the one thing they want you to do. Like when you're trying to build a following, try to build that connection, right? So that's what I did. I built as many connections as I could through social media, through like my phone, literally like just saying,
meeting these people,
just shooting them with like a DM, hey, I like your profile, that's it. Like that conversation started right there. Led to one thing and to another thing, and then next thing I know, I'm like, hey, I see you're gonna be in this area, like you want to meet up, and then boom, like literally.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
You just asked like, yo, you want to meet up?
Yeah, dude. Like, why not? Like this day and age, man. Hold on. This day and age, like literally, this day and age, you can be like on like that's what I did for Instagram. Like maybe half my friends are from Instagram, dude. I'll tell you that. Like
what?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. I never thought
homies.
Like now they're really good homies, man.
Dude, crazy.
So with Bliss, I saw that she's a big follower with Live, and now that she's
like a model for them or something.
Now she's an ambassador.
That's what it was.
Congrats, Bliss, by the way.
Yeah, shout out Bliss.
Hey, and then I started following her before like she became an ambassador, and then I just like that she was a trainer for one. And she was like the type of trainer I like to follow too. She likes to push her clients. Like she works at a place called Hardcore Fitness.
Yeah, in North County.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, let me give this homie a follow. And then just watched her and followed her story, and that's what I like to do. Like that's how I built the connection. And it was when I was doing work so I like back to the video thing. I was doing work with one of the Live Fit athletes, sponsored athletes. And I was like, I was visiting her pad, and I was like, the sponsored athlete,
yeah.
And I was like, who's this girl that she's talking to, and why does she look so familiar? And it turned out to be Bliss. Yeah, and I was
like
like,
at her house or something like that. They're just kicking it? Oh, okay.
yeah, they were just kicking it. I was like, oh shit, dude. Well, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And that's how I met up with her in person. And yeah, that's how I know her.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Do you
Literally
ever go work out at her gym?
No, well, she's too far away from me. So
Yeah.
I'm in PB and she's like in Encinitas, right? Or
Vista.
North County.
Vista,
yeah, she's up there. But no, yeah, like literally that company right there is how we connected, and that's crazy, dude. Just because of social media.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's just today's day and age, bro. I mean,
You never know, dude. You never know who's watching, and you never know who you're gonna connect with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can meet the same person in person before you, like, you know, like, you meet them on social media, and you will never know like what they do in their everyday life. But on social media, everyone exposes everything. Actually, at least the highlights of it. You know what I mean?
well, that's the thing is the highlights. That's why, dude, this is a perfect segue to this. It's like, dude, you hear the fucking like the term like doing it for the gram, you know? Like,
Yeah.
You know, like, oh,
Yeah.
you're doing this because of the gram.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, especially if you're running any type of successful podcast, videography, whatever, you have to post all the fucking time. You have to post this shit, and you're almost in a really weird way. It almost gets you to go out and go do shit. You're like, yo, I got to do this to like.
And I'm guilty of that too, man. I've done that before. Where, like, I need to post something, so I need to go out right now and do something.
But
you know?
is that a negative thing? Because I mean, so many people nowadays are just like either stuck in front of video games or they're stuck in the house. But even you have a little personal brand, and you're like, oh, I got to go do this, and then. But it's like, do you really want to do it, or are you just like, I'm doing it for this?
I think it depends on what your intentions are with the whole post thing. So if it's you building a brand, and that means you are trying to build a business, stuff like that, and like, you know, that's all cool, you know. And there's some where I'm just gonna do this for myself because I just want to post. You know, I've met a lot of people who just like, you know, they post just because they want to post, and that's totally fine too, because that's what that platform was meant for. Like in the beginning, when Instagram first came out, it was just, hey, post your photos here, caption it, whatever, and then just share it. You know, this is their platform to do so.
Yeah.
And here it is, right? Now it's become a platform to where everyone can get on Instagram and build a business.
Well, dude, it's just like YouTube. You can become a YouTube sensation. 6ix9ine. I talk about him ad nauseum on this podcast, but he's the perfect example. Now that fool snitched and all that shit came out,
Yeah.
he admitted. He said, "Dude, we found something that worked.
Yeah.
People loved it. People loved what he was doing, and it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his music was trash, but I'm telling you, you were in the gym, yo, you hear a 6ix9ine song, you're gonna fucking go a little bit harder because that shit's you know, whatever. I do it all the time when I'm in the gym, but you hear what these dudes are doing,
Yeah.
and he admitted to what he's doing. It's like, bro, you can get famous on Instagram, you can get famous on YouTube or whatever, and it's not even about getting famous, but it's like there's people who do it that are trying to like. Their whole life is doing it for the fucking gram. It's like almost, dude. It's not even realistic. It's not even real life.
Honestly,
you
dude,
know?
That's scary too, man. Like when you're constantly doing it for the gram, like you're trying to live up to an image that you just set for yourself, like, and you're trying to live like at it and above it, you know, every single day. You know what I mean? That's fucking scary.
Dude, do you think it's gonna push people to the point where they're like so like stressed out they don't even know what's reality and what's social media?
It already has.
Dude,
it already
but see,
has,
the
man.
thing is like what you run into people. And you're like, oh, that fool on social media, like, yo, he looks like he acts way different, but you see that person in real life, they ain't even like that.
Dude, that's all. Dude,
but I mean, what I'm saying is that when you are posting all the time, but you're living the life that you're actually posting, and you're like that person, you're like in and out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's like then it becomes so interlinked that it's like, bro, you don't even know what's real no more?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little stony thought,
a little freaking tripping out right now, dude. No, see, that's the fine line right there. That when it comes to social media, that's actually been drawn out because of like what's been happening. And like, you know, I mean, I'm not going to go into things specific, but people need to realize, like, you know, social media is just social media, you know. Dude. Like, think about it, like who would you be? So like the only reason I try to keep, like, not try to keep it, but I always keep it real on my social media account is like, if the internet died one day, who would I be?
Exactly.
Literally,
you're still the same person.
Same person.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to like be anybody else. I'm because I've met a lot of people who are like completely 180.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, what's up?
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I keep it real in mind where I'm like every time like I said, I meet up with a lot of homies that I met through social media, right? And these are the homies. Like, so when I meet up with somebody, like after meeting them online, I always make sure first, like, I've been following them for a while and I kind of know who they are as a person. And then when I meet up with them and actually hang out with them,
that sounds so weird. Like, bro,
dude,
you don't even know them, though.
Dude.
Yeah.
So when I first thought about like, meeting up, so I remember do I remember? Hold on. No, when I first thought about like meeting up, trying to meet up with like the first person off social media, I was like, this is some sketchy ass shit.
But dude,
nobody does
you're
this.
coming from North Caca too, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So you're in a different boat. Like, you're not just a dude who grew up in Cali who has like maybe a couple homies here. Like, nobody.
Yeah.
And so you're reaching out however you can. So that's got to be like a preface on that. So like,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, when I first moved here, so like I said, a small town, coming to a town where like people vacation. Like,
were you still 20 or were you like 21 at this point?
I was 21.
So you were actually able to go out too, though. So this could
get
a little crazy.
No, nothing crazy. But yeah, when I first moved out here, I was like, what can I do with myself, to expand my network? Because the first thing I learned about California, like I said before, like, previously in this talk was to like, your network is everything here.
Yeah.
So like, what can I do? There were certain things that I wasn't really accustomed to, like when I first moved to California, because like East to West is like literally two different cultures, right?
In San Diego?
Yeah.
Here?
So like from North Carolina culture, from North Carolina
culture
culture to like coming to San Diego culture, that's completely different, right?
Yeah.
And it's totally fine to like, take your time to like slowly adjust to it. So that's what I did, was like I slowly adjusted to it, but I was like, nothing's working right now, right? And I was like, social media, right? Social media has to be the answer. So what I did was I started talking to my camera first, right? I started talking to my camera. I started posting these videos on YouTube, and I was like,
so it's just like workout videos, videographer, like, hey, I'm here to do some work
Yeah.
too. Is it all the above? Yo, I'm killing it in the coffee game. Come get a frat from me or something like that.
So yeah, I was like talking to my camera, but I was talking to my camera in front of people.
What do you mean?
Like, like I was out in public talking to my DSLR, my camera.
Oh, your actual camera, not your phone camera.
No, yeah, my actual
damn.
camera.
Okay.
So like that was a big thing right there too, because like I've seen a lot of vloggers on YouTube come out of California, and I was like, I can do that. It's gonna be awkward as fuck, but I can do that.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I did, and I was like, how do I make more of this? And then that's when I started posting my stuff on YouTube. So like posting my stuff on Instagram.
So did you learn videography because you wanted to become a vlogger?
Yes. Yes, dude. You're the first person that asked me that and like actually knows about it.
Yeah, I mean, no, I get it, and I'm very aware, but that's very interesting because you wanted to essentially become YouTube famous or whatever. You learned a craft.
Yeah.
And it got you paid to actually like get work done.
Yeah.
So in a really fucked up way, it was super beneficial to be like, hey, look at me.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Michael. Back to the YouTube channel. Let's go. Yeah, dude.
That is awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's what I did. And I started posting stuff and people started reacting to it. And I was like, oh, shit, I have something here, right? And, like when you get that first spark, you're like, oh, I'm going to start a fire with this.
Yes.
Right? I'm going to start a fire with this. And that's what I did. And then as soon as I started connecting with these people online, I was like, who are these people? So I would click on their profiles. I'm like, okay, cool. You're cool. I'm not going to block you, stuff like that, Because I didn't want any weirdos. Because like this was back when like, I was scared of social media. Like social media was a big thing to where I almost didn't want to get on it. But I was like, California is the land of vloggers. Is the land of YouTube. Is the because there's YouTube space here, there's MySpace. Every social media account company is like here in California, right? Whether it's up north,
yeah.
But so that's what I did. I was just like, I'm gonna start vlogging, and that's when I started connecting. And back to like the original thing we were talking about, that's when I started like connecting with these random people online and actually started meeting with like them in person.
Yeah.
So,
Dude,
yeah.
So, and how did you feel when you would go to meet up with them? When you got this anxiety, like, oh shit.
Oh, dude, no doubt, dude. I was sketched out, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope I'm not being catfished right now. Like,
Catfished. Well, were you like trying to date, or were you trying to just like
no.
hang?
Well, I mean, I use the word catfish just because, like, someone else.
Isn't that like a relationship though?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, I don't even know.
No, I'm not even gonna go into it.
I
I just assumed like it's someone like pretending to be someone else online.
I always assumed it was that, but then it was an internet relationship or some shit like that.
No, dude, no. I just didn't want to be like hoaxed then.
Okay, there you go. But then they show up and they're chill.
Yeah, they show up and they're like, well, I would only ask them to meet up if I knew like they were gonna be real up front. Like, they're not like some influencer or they have like some sort of like really easy persona to like see online. Does that make sense? So like I made sure, like I was like, hey,
you Facebook stalked him or something like that.
No, dude, no. I pretty much like interviewed them like right there in the messages, man. I'm like, hey, dude, if we're gonna meet up, man, you like, be straight up,
What would you do? Like go work out, like or something like that? Or
yeah. So the first time it was just like, since I was like really big into fitness, still I am. I would just work out with them, because that's a good thing. It's like grabbing coffee, especially here in California. Like, well, no, that's how I see it, like here in California, the fitness scene is pretty big, especially in Southern California.
Yeah.
And I knew like, that either if they don't want to grab like food or like coffee, because that's awkward too, you're just sitting there at the same table, like you're waiting for somebody like you'd never met before. And
it's
like in
a
a public
date
place.
For friends.
That's
fucking yo. That's hella crazy. Like, I mean, not in a bad way. I'm just, I say crazy, but yo, I've never been in that position before.
Dude, put yourself in that position,
What
bro.
is that,
it is a different experience. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. Like the main thing I would ask him was like, yeah, do you want to just, you want to go to the gym and like, grab a workout? Because one, I was in a public place. Like two, like there'd be people around me, so I wouldn't have to worry about like getting snatched if it was a freaking like sketched out person. You know what I mean? So like I had to make sure, like first of all, like I was gonna be safe.
Yeah.
And then I would be like, okay, cool. They're actually the person that they are online. Then that's when we would just like chill, and that's it.
Dude, that's crazy,
right?
Yeah. I mean. I had this conversation the other day about when I'm in the gym, bro, I'm by myself. I don't really like fuck around with like partners.
No.
Really. You know what I mean? And it's just like some people when they come up to you too, it's hella weird sometimes. I was like I was on the squat rack one time and this one dude comes up and he's like, hey, I could see him in the mirror, kind of like going back and forth. I was like, yo, this bro's about to come up and talk to me. I can already feel it, bro. And and sure enough, he comes, hey, bro, can you spot me real quick? I'm like, fuck. Like, God.
Well, see, that's the awkward part right there. That's like, not many people see it too. That's the awkward part too. When someone comes up to you and your headphones are on, were your headphones on?
Yeah, bro. I was on the fucking squat rack. Like,
yeah.
I'm right there.
What
the fuck?
That's the awkward part. Like when someone comes up to you and like you have your headphones in and you're just jamming out to your music, you're getting the work done.
Mm-hmm.
And then some random person comes up to you, just like starts looking at you, and like you almost don't want to take out your earphones to talk to them because like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, but they're making it so awkward that he is like, what's good, G? Like, can I help you?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
No hate. Just,
no, dude.
Dude, this has been a constant with the last couple of people I've had on the show. It's been like, dude, what's up with that weird ass shit in the gym? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that question out there.
No, yeah.
Just
so
in general.
I mean, so like I made sure like when I met up with these random people online that like because like it goes either way. So it gives either like if we're gonna grab a workout together, you put on your music, I'll put on my music, and I'll just show you what we're gonna do, or we're gonna have a conversation as we work out, And I'm not that type of person to where we don't work out and just have a big conversation. I'd rather put in the work and have a conversation together.
That's chill.
Yeah, that was like like I said, dude. That's like my grabbing coffee with you, and getting to know you. So
Sick.
yeah.
Do you go hard, or is it like a full body workout, or what do you try to do when you're just like meeting somebody?
Dude, I ask them like what they want to work out. It's
Okay.
like it's kind of like you like when you ask me to be on your podcast. I was like, hey, dude, what do you want to drink? You know, it's the same thing. Like, what do you want to work out? You know,
All right.
and then they basically just go off from there because then that right there is the first sign of rapport that you have with that person. You know what I mean? That's that sign.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a good sign too because like you find out like what they like, you find out what they want, and then you can just like literally just keep laying down the tiles in front of you and just start paving that path, like just being homies with them.
Well, it's not even that. It's. I mean, it is all of that, but
Yeah.
it's also it's making you feel comfortable as a guest.
Yeah.
Because, bro, the last thing you want to ever do for anybody, I mean, in any situation, is make the other person feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree.
You're coming to my casa.
Yeah.
You know, I want you to feel chill. I want you to feel relaxed. Like, yo, that you can like really just not even like let loose in a sense where you're trying to like let all your like deepest secrets out, but it's you can feel comfortable in a spot where like people just, you know, you can feel comfortable. That's all it is. Just making you feel good. And that's bottom line.
That's it, dude. That's literally it. And I did that like many times. Many times. So like to the point to where now, like I said, man, like half my homies that I have on my like, you know, like phone list that I talk to on the regular are from social media. And
that's sick.
I didn't even realize until like we brought it up right now, man. It's crazy, you know, like how social media literally, you know, just brings people together.
It does. I mean, you got to use it a lot, I'm assuming, for all of your stuff. I mean, my brother-in-law, he's a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Certified out the wazoo. He's like a bodybuilder. He's so jacked. It's ridiculous. Good for him though. Shout out Delmar. He's fucking gnarly, bro.
Yeah.
But he has to be on a social media all the time. I mean, it's something where you're doing videography, so you can easily put videos as like a resume. Like your social media account is essentially your resume.
It is.
So you got that. You got your training. And if you ever wanted to, you could essentially get into specialty coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, how do you manage all your time with all these things?
You have no idea. So I use a little thing called Google Calendar.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that thing.
I mean, so that's literally so. I have sort of like a priority mindset. You know what I mean? Like I sort of lay it down to where like what needs to get done first. You know, the thing I learn about when like, you know, business or entrepreneurship or, you know, doing the things that you want to do in life is that there's linear and there's leverage income. You know what I mean? So my linear income for me would be my 9 to 5 at Starbucks. You know, so that's like I said, the guaranteed income that I know it's going to come in. And then the leverage would be, you know, my other businesses like my freelancing, my personal training, and that's what I did. That's how I manage to do all these things because I set forth, you know, I set like priority to like what needs to get done first to do the things that I want to do. So now like I actually posted it today. One of like the things I want to do this upcoming year is do a lot of travel video, you know, like travel videography. You know, talk to companies where like they fly me out to like maybe Finland, Iceland, and do work for them over there, and just like, you know, live it up, you know. And when you set like, and I tell my clients this too, like when you set a goal for yourself, you want to set some like 2 goals for yourself. You know, one that's attainable, one that's it's still attainable but out of reach at this moment. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're not going to. You're just shooting for like the just the shorter goal, you know. And anyone and you know, goal setting is like one of the hardest things to do, especially, you know, when you're setting goals for yourself, when you're setting goals for your clients, when you're setting goals, just in general. It's one of the most difficult things to do, but that's how I managed to do all the things that I'm doing right now, you know. And also the fact that I love what I do.
Oh yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? I love making videos. I love helping people out when it comes to training, and I love making coffee.
Yeah. I love all of that.
Yeah, dude.
That's that hustle. That's that hustle. Bro, I really appreciate what you're doing, Wolf.
Thanks, man. Thank you, dude.
Dude, I know we normally we go way longer. I definitely have to have this hard stop tonight, but I want to thank you for your time tonight, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
Tell the people where they can find you at, and basically, are you gonna have another 7Cs thing coming out soon, or did you do another one, or is that just like that was just to test it out?
So I made 2 videos out of that day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, which I'll show you after this podcast, actually.
Let's see that.
But yeah, I who knows, dude? You'll probably see me pretty soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, dude. Okay, cool. Like I'm down, and then let's yeah, we'll connect. We'll connect soon.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah, so like, yeah, if you guys want to find me on social
yeah,
media,
tell the people where they can find you. Sorry.
no worries. On Instagram, I go under at Mike_Wolf Titan. So that's at MIKE_WOLFTITAN. And then you can also find me on YouTube under Wolf.
Just Wolf, one word.
Just Wolf, man. I did it like a couple days ago. And I was like, I got to do this. And if you can't find me on on YouTube, just type from typing Wolf on the search bar, because I know that's gonna be pretty difficult. Just go to the link in my bio on my Instagram, and you can find me there. And that's basically it, man.
Fuck yeah.
Heck yeah,
All right,
dude.
Wolf.
Hey.
Give this up.
Hey.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace.